That was R. Venkatramani, the new Attorney General. Let's move on now. One of the biggest casualties of the COVID pandemic, the travel and tourism industry is slowly but steadily returning to normal. And while the festive season for the last 2 years offered little to no cheer, the sector remains upbeat this time around. Abhimanyu Sharma spoke to top hoteliers to get a sense of the sentiment within the sector. He filed this story. Take a look.
COVID-19 had dealt a body blow to the travel and tourism industry, and the festive season was subdued. This year promises to be different, and the industry is also hoping for the same. While the industry is hoping for a recovery in demand, it has no risk appetite for any further investments.
The demand has been growing gradually once the pandemic was over. Slowly it's been beginning to pick up. And even those sectors, like, for example, meetings and incentives which were not happening, are happening now. Right now, there is no expansion plan, to be honest with you, because, we've had a very tough last 2 years. We're now wanting to stabilize ourselves first, which we will.
We expect that by end of the festive season, we should be back to, in all counts, to what the normal pre-COVID situation was. Not on foreign tourist arrivals, which will perhaps take a little longer, but expectations are very high.
A lot of capital being employed by HNIs. Institutional funding at the moment is not at the same level what we want it to be, although it's improving. People have decided to move out. They want to live for today and even take shorter holidays, and that too multiple ones. There was a time when people used to go out, they used to say, okay, let me spend 10 days or 15 days and have a vacation. Now they go 3 times, and which is very good. And we have asked for a few specific things. One is infrastructure status for our industry, which will actually attract more investment. And we are also looking at industry status at the state levels, because tourism is actually a state subject. So when we have these people giving industry status in various states, it will be a good point to have industry-related benefits. So your operating costs would be less, there will be more attraction and more pull factor for investment.
There will be better times for the industry. There are a range of demands in terms of the foreign trade policy issues or taxation issues or the grant of infrastructure status to the industry, which we are in dialogue with the relevant people within government and outside for resolution on these matters. So this is a great opportunity for the country, because the G20 meetings will be held at 55 locations throughout the country. So it gives an occasion. G20 is a very important group of nations. Large part of the global GDP is there. Large significant amount of the population lives there. So the meetings that will help take place, of course, will help the G20 cause, as well help us project the country in a better light in these countries.
Expecting the global tourist economy to grow at twice the pace of the growth in global economy, India is pecking its hopes on the G20 meetings lined up at over 55 locations across the country in 2023, while the tourism industry is seeking various benefits and has made several demands with respect to taxation and the according of infrastructure status to the tourism industry. The government wants to ensure that every delegate who returns from India returns as a tourism ambassador for the Indian tourism industry. In Delhi with video journalist Naresh, this is Abhimanyu Sharma for CNBC-TV18.
All right, that was Abhimanyu Sharma doing a check of the travel and tourism industry in this festive season. We're going to take a short break here on Newscentre, but on the other side, the government is considering sweetening incentives for the IT hardware companies under the PLI scheme in order to boost investments. A special discussion on the other side.